Hi everyone, this is my week 2 video reflection for the internship class. In case you forgot, I'm interning at the Ann Davis Transition Society, and I'm working a lot at the Women's Center, which is the homeless shelter that's just recently opened up, and I'm also working a little bit at the Transition House, which is the house for women and children who are escaping abuse in the home. This week was a bit of a roller coaster for me. I kind of got to see some interesting dynamics of my workplace between coworkers, which was interesting and good for real life experience. It was a good experience to see how workers kind of deal with conflict amongst each other. So that was a good experience, and I'll go into that a little bit more. Another thing that I got to do is I got to work a little bit more one-on-one with clients, and me, the worker that I shadow, Melody, and Clara, my MSW supervisor, the three of us got to have a meeting, and we were kind of able to talk about some exciting things that are going to be coming up in my future at Ann Davis, and I'm excited about it. So the first 2 days this week I thought they were going to be pretty boring because I was told that I was going to be mostly working at the front desk. But they actually ended up to be pretty good because I was reminded of what front desk really means. It doesn't mean just answering phone calls and replying to emails, but it means answering phone calls from women who are scared, or men who are looking for advice, or even from children who don't know where else to turn. And working at front desk also means being the front line to people who come in seeking resources, whether it's for help to find housing, or help making escape and safety plans and things like that. And one of the experiences that's been kind of weighing heavy on me this week is something that apparently happens pretty often, but it's really kind of stuck with me throughout the week because I can't stop thinking about this woman. She came in and she was well dressed. She looked very clean and put together, and she was wearing brand name clothes. And when she walked in the door, I was actually expecting for her to come and give us a check for a donation or ask about an upcoming fundraiser that we're selling tickets for. But I was kind of taken back and taken by surprise when she asked who she could meet with to most quickly make an escape plan, because she was in a dangerous situation living with her husband right now. And that was kind of a reality check for me, because ever since I started working here at Ann Davis, the women that I work with have reminded me again and again not to make assumptions, and you never know what somebody's going through. But when that woman asked for who she can meet with to make an escape plan, I was really surprised. And so we made an appointment with her for later that day, and then she was a no-show, which kind of stressed me out because I was worried about her. And then the next morning, she came in asking if she could please make an emergency appointment for right now because her situation had gotten worse. And she kind of started going into the details of the situation that she was in with her husband. And she said that this trip to our office was the only one she was going to be able to make because her husband was going to catch on, and she knew that her neighbors had been told to watch her. So she kind of had a whole team of people working against her. She told us that her phone had been bugged so that he has access to all of her communication and her text messages, emails, anything. So we also were not able to get in contact with her because it would have put her in an even more dangerous situation. So she came in, and I set her up with an emergency counseling session, and it was in about half an hour. So I told her that she can just wait in our lobby, and then the counselor will be free and will come pick her up in half an hour. And after about 15 minutes of waiting, she left, and I didn't ever see her for the rest of the week. So that's kind of been weighing down on me this week, but that kind of, when I was speaking with my supervisor, Clara, about it, she kind of told me that this is just one of those situations that you can't carry on your shoulders because everyone is an expert in their own situation. So that woman knew that the best thing for her at that time was to leave. And maybe if I knew her situation better, I would understand why she felt she couldn't wait the whole half an hour, or why she needed to leave then, or why the emergency counseling session wouldn't have been worth waiting the whole half an hour, because I felt confused. Like, why didn't she just wait a little longer? We could have helped her, but she's the expert in her own situation. And so I learned a few things from that experience: not to assume, not to judge people based on their outer appearance, and also to not try to carry everyone else's burdens on my mind as I try to do this job. Yeah, so that was kind of a tough lesson to learn, and I'm sure I'll have to keep on learning it again and again, because we can't control what other people are doing or the decisions that they make. Something else that I've been working on a lot this week is the Rent Smart program that me and Melody, my outreach worker that I shadow, are going to be hosting at the Women's Center, which is the homeless shelter that we work at. We're going to be hosting it next week on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that'll be 4 hours each day, and we're in charge of hosting that. We're going to be providing snacks for the women, transportation for them from their various homeless shelters that they live in, and we're going to be putting that on for them. So I'm excited to do that, and it's actually been a really good learning experience even for me, because there is some material there that I'm not even 100% sure about. Things like our tenant rights, things like what it means to be a good tenant, what you can expect from your landlord, what's fair, how to improve your credit ratings, how to check your credit, even things like that you might not even think you need to really be confident about to rent a home, are really important things that we're going to be teaching those women. Another thing that I did was I was able to start the paperwork for the Women's Center, because it just opened about 2 weeks ago, and it's kind of in a bit of a messy spot right now. Paperwork wise, they've had a lot of people who were hired to work there come out of those positions, so there's less people working in total, but they also have a whole bunch of new hirees who don't know how the paperwork is supposed to be running. So we're kind of recreating it right now. So I created the new intake form and had it approved by the director this week. So that was kind of nerve-wracking, because that was my first piece of paperwork that I had to create on my own. But everything went well with that. And then we spent a lot of the day on Thursday at the Women's Center trying to set up the new outreach office. Yeah, and then probably the most exciting part of my week was when I was in my meeting with Clara and Melody, and we were talking about what I can expect from the rest of my internship, because I'm kind of at a point now where I don't need to be trained on what Melody's doing. I can do intakes by myself. I actually did an intake all by myself on Thursday morning for a woman who's trying to get more child support from her husband that she divorced in 2009. So I was helping her do the intake. I was helping her do goal planning, and we were able to get that stuff done. So that went really well, and Melody was overseeing me as I did that. And then after that, she decided that I would be ready to take on my own clients. So starting this upcoming week, I'll hopefully be able to get some clients of my own and start working with them, and I'll have access to Melody whenever I need, because surely there'll be questions that I don't know how to answer, but her and my MSW supervisor seem pretty confident that I'll be able to do it by myself, at least a little bit. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, so that's a really exciting thing for me. I really am excited to take on my own clients. And that's pretty much what I've been up to this week. It was a good learning week, and I'm excited to see what happens next week as I take on these new clients.